after several months, finally have both F7's mostly completed, and at least on the railroad. A couple things I need to do with detail work on them still, namely hiding wires in the cab and fine-tuning a couple of the decoder settings, but for the most part they're at least operational and will help to alleviate that long-standing power shortage I've had for the railroad. So I think they turned out reasonably well. Getting a little bit better, learned a lot. And used photographs from a couple different books to base these two units' appearance on, and they're not going to do that with every single locomotive to verify that it actually spent time on this segment of railroad, but at least these two I did. And really starting to give a sense of what the railroad looked like as it was operating at that point in time. So give me a minute and we'll head over to the workbench and I'll show you what I'm going to work on next. With the F7's complete, their availability allowed me to remove unit 740, which is a B&O Athearn Blue Box GP7 from the railroad, and this was the first locomotive about 4.5 years ago that I installed my a decoder in. So you can see it was rather inartfully done. I used just a piece of styrene, which is obviously not rigid enough and over time has kind of sagged. Although it didn't cause any problems, I don't think it was interfering with the flywheel, but naturally I will do it a different way, and I've done constantly improving methods, at least I hope they're improving methods on the decoder installs. I've also stopped using black electrical tape, as that leaves residue and is kind of a nuisance, in favor of Kapton tape, which is the kind of amber colored tape. I definitely will do the ground lights as I've done on the other GP7 and both F7's. I figure why not? I mean, you've got a 6-function lighting decoder. And if you just use headlights, you're really only using 2 out of those 6. So, and yeah, I could do number board lights, but quite honestly, I think the ground lights, to me at least, provide a little bit more benefit. As I think I've mentioned previously, we all generally light our layouts from above, whether it's from the valance or some other location. and that results in a significant amount of shadows on your trucks. And while the number boards being illuminated is nice and prototypical, I think having the ground lights illuminate the trucks. I mean, you spend all the time to put detailing like brake piping and speed recorder cables, and then you really can't see them. So I think I'm going to continue doing ground lights, at least on the blue box units. And this is my last blue box. And again, this is the first one I put a decoder in, but it obviously isn't properly painted. This is my last one, so I think I'm going to continue trying to do and hone my skills on super detailing. And as people may say, well, why would you waste your time on the blue box? And as I've mentioned before, I just want to get better at what I'm doing and not risk screwing up one of these, really, really delicate, more expensive models that are, currently available. So this is my last chance to get my act together, I guess, and learn how to do this and perfect my skills. Some handrail modifications, like I'll cut the handrail at the walkway there and put a chain in. This will get renumbered to the proper numbering. 740 was probably a number from the 1950s, so from the 60s this probably would be in the 5000 series. The other one I did was 5889. I prefer to make this a B&O unit, but as I mentioned on the first GP7 project, and you can go back and look at that, and that explains why I elected to make these C&O units. So this will get modified into a more prototypical version, unlike the last one, the last GP7, but like I did on the F7's, I'm going to remove the steam equipment, I'm going to remove the horns, and I'll patch and fill those openings. I'll come in and drill out all of the fans, replace those with Cannon & Company fans, not just the radiator fans, but also the dynamic brake fan. I did buy a pack of the larger diameter 48-inch fans. I don't think I'm going to remove the winterization hatch, so I'll remove on this one, this will be the first time I've tried doing this, I'll remove the grab irons that are cast into the plastic, and I'll replace those with wire grab irons that I'll just custom bend. And definitely I'm going to put some type of window glazing on this one. I did not on the previous one. And this one I've got to go back and fix the F7's because you can see the wires through the cockpit glass. But on this one I'm definitely going to have to make sure I hide that as best I can, and also I may put some type of cab interior just again to try and continue to improve and just gain additional skill on modifying and detailing locomotives. So that will be the next project, this GP7, and again it was freed up by the availability of the F7's on the railroad, so more to follow on this.